Kaya has spent 3 years studying ice cores in Antarctica. She knows the sound of a glacier at rest. This is not that sound. It's June, deep in the coldest place on Earth, and the ground beneath her boots is sinking. Scientists always said the ice sheet holding most of the planet's fresh water would take centuries to disappear. But what if it didn't? What if all of it, every glacier, every ice shelf, every frozen mile of Antarctica, melted away in a single year? At first, nobody outside the research station notices anything. The change starts small. A crack widens under Kaya's boots. A thin stream appears where there was only white, flat ice. She radios it in. Command tells her it's nothing, just seasonal melt. But the melt doesn't stop. By the end of the first week, entire sections of the ice shelf are sliding into the ocean. Not as icebergs, but as rivers of slush and water. Penguins that nested on solid ice for generations are suddenly swimming through open water where their colonies used to stand. Seals lose their resting platforms overnight, crowding onto the last scraps of solid ground. The research station evacuates. Kaya watches from a departing plane as the land she studied for years turns to gray water beneath her. This is only the beginning. Within a month, satellites start tracking something impossible. Sea levels, worldwide, begin rising. Not by inches, but by feet. Coastal cities start planning for a flood no seawall was built to survive. Miami, Jakarta, Lagos, Venice, all of them start counting the months they have left. Kaya is reassigned. Her new job? Track how fast the meltwater is spreading and how much time the world actually has left. The answer terrifies her. If Antarctica melts completely, global sea levels could rise by nearly 200 feet. Entire nations could disappear from the map, not metaphorically. Literally, underwater. By month 3, the coastline itself becomes a moving target. Engineers redraw evacuation maps every single week. Fishing boats now motor over what used to be highways. Streetlights poke out of the water like buoys marking a city that no longer exists. Kaya's parents, who live along the coast, are among the millions relocating inland. She calls them from a research vessel, watching the ocean rise on the horizon behind her, and realizes home doesn't exist in the same place anymore. By month 6, something stranger starts happening. With so much fresh, cold water pouring into the ocean, currents that have run the same way for 10,000 years begin to shift. The current that keeps Europe's winters mild starts slowing down. Kaya's models show a paradox nobody expected. As the planet warms overall, parts of it might actually get colder. Northern Europe braces for brutal winters, even as the rest of the world drowns in rising seas. It's not just water levels that change, it's the whole climate machine, rewriting its own rules in real time. By month 9, coastal farmland starts failing. Saltwater floods soil that once fed hundreds of millions of people. Kaya, now working with a global relief coalition, spends her days mapping where people can still safely live. The list keeps getting shorter. Cities begin building upward instead of outward. Apartment towers turn into vertical lifeboats for entire neighborhoods. And then, in month 11, Kaya finds something in the data that nobody expected. Buried under the ice for millions of years are ancient microbes and trapped methane pockets, and entire ecosystems that have never touched open air. As Antarctica melts, it isn't just releasing water, it's releasing gases sealed away since before humans existed, adding fuel to a warming planet that's already spiraling. The very thing melting the ice is now being accelerated by what the ice was hiding underneath it. By the 1-year mark, the transformation is complete. Antarctica isn't white anymore. It's a scattering of dark, rocky islands sitting in a sea that didn't exist 12 months earlier. The maps in every classroom, every atlas, every phone app are wrong now. Kaya stands on the deck of a research ship, looking out at open water where a continent of ice used to be. She used to study the ice to understand the planet's past. Now she's watching its future arrive, all at once. If there's one thing Kaya has learned this year, it's this. The ice at the bottom of the world was never just frozen water. It was a promise, a buffer, holding back a version of Earth none of us are ready to live in. And once a promise like that breaks, it doesn't break quietly. It floods every coastline. It rewrites every ocean current. It changes what home means for hundreds of millions of people all over the world. Because it turns out, the most remote place on Earth was never really that far away.